What's going on, people? This is Shok. Before I get started, shout outs to Papa John's, Papa John's Master Race. If you are one of those Pizza Hut peasants, unsub from my channel right now because I don't want you watching my videos. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding about Papa John's being the Master Race. That's real. I mean that. But I mean, if you like Pizza Hut, that's you. Me, I just like higher quality food. You know what I mean? But anyways, as to let's get on with the title. Ryu and Roy in Smash 4. And I'm also going to be talking about the Smash Ballot because I never really actually gave my thoughts on that outside of the direct live reactions I did when it was announced. So let's start off with Ryu and Roy first. For those of you who still may not know, you should. Those are my nephew's toys in the background, by the way. But Ryu from Street Fighter could possibly be a fighter in Smash along with Roy from Fire Emblem. And the reason this rumor came to be is because this guy pretty much took the update file that was in the update where, you know, Mewtwo was patched in as DLC and whatnot. And he saw, along with a Lucas audio clip, he found a, not a necessarily audio clip of like his voice, but you know, the theme or whatever. He found Ryu's theme and a Street Fighter theme in the file along with a Roy Fire Emblem Victory theme that came with the Mewtwo update and all that stuff. Now we know Lucas is coming in June, so it would make sense that, you know, Sakurai puts in some files to prepare for Lucas's release. So it kind of adds some legitimacy, you know, that this guy also found, you know, Ryu and Roy along with this was something that makes sense. And this guy's legit. You know, I looked him up, and apparently in the past, in one of the Pokemon games, I can't remember which one or whatever, but he went to the files and he saw that there was going to be like some Pokemon update into the game or something like that. So this guy's legit. You know, he's not making this stuff up. This doesn't mean 100% these characters are going to be, you know, the real deal. They're actually going to be put into the game, but it is. It's looking pretty strong. It's pretty strong proof. It's pretty strong evidence. What are my thoughts on the possibility of Ryu being in Smash? I gotta say, honestly, I would think Ryu would look a little out of place. I really do. It would seem weird and awkward, and it really wouldn't look right. Now, Ryu himself just being, you know, in any fighting game that's not Street Fighter is automatically awesome. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you know, from a pure visual standpoint, I think he would kind of look a little weird, but regardless, it still would be cool. Roy, you guys already know I want Roy in the game, and let me say something about these Roy haters, right? Because you guys are retarded. You are. You are. And that's a fact you guys have to accept if you want to move on with your lives. Because you same dudes talking about we don't want Roy in here, with the same dudes who was like, you know, wanted Rosalina, you know, wanted Bowser Jr., all that stuff, right? We got 9, like, goddamn, I think it's not, okay, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser Jr., Rosalina, Wario, Yoshi. Am I missing somebody? If I am, oh well, but that's 8. And yes, Wario and Yoshi count as Mario characters. I actually had people talk about, you know, Wario isn't a Mario character, he's a WarioWare character. And I understand what you're saying, and yes, he does have his own emblem, but no. That is damage control. He's a goddamn Mario character, okay? Same goes for Yoshi. So we can have 8, 9, you know, Mario characters, right? We can have 10 freaking Pokemon, but for some reason we can't have 5 Fire Emblem reps? Why exactly? When we have like 10 people in every other franchise, like, you know, other than like Star Fox and Earthbound and of course, you know, Metroid and F-Zero. But, you know, we can have all these other characters, you know, taking up 50% of the roster in a single franchise, right? That's okay, but we can't have just 5. Just 5 Fire Emblem characters. If you ask me, we need another Fire Emblem character that does not have blue hair. Okay, we need some goddamn variety with those guys. Another argument I see people saying is, well, of course, you know, Mario and Pokemon can have that many characters. Look at the sales of those franchises. Those are 2 of Nintendo's biggest franchises. That is true, and that is actually a very strong argument. But that still does not justify Fire Emblem not getting 5. First off, 5 is really not that big of a number to begin with, and secondly, guess what Nintendo franchise is on the rise right now? Fire Emblem. We're getting a sequel already from Awakening. Awakening would have been the last one, but it turned out to be a great success, and Nintendo is riding that momentum in that hype train. So it's going to be a Fire Emblem on 3DS. So with that in mind, does Fire Emblem not deserve, you know, 5 characters? You see what I'm saying? Like, that sounds pretty reasonable to me, considering Fire Emblem is getting a lot of love right now, and it's pretty much on a huge momentum swing. You see what I mean? The third retarded argument is Roy sucked in Melee. To you people out there that wanted Mewtwo in this game, or own Mewtwo right now, or are going to buy him when he becomes public download, y'all can sit the fuck down, okay? Because that is so hypocritical. We don't want Roy in Smash 4 because Roy sucked in Melee. Guess who was under Roy and 99% of the tier list made in Melee? Mewtwo. Mewtwo was above Roy like one freaking time. But if you actually go to the official Melee tier list that the Melee community has created, Roy's actually above Mewtwo on that tier list. Mewtwo was arguably a worse character than Roy in Melee. So if you ask for Mewtwo, if you own Mewtwo, or if you're going to buy Mewtwo, y'all need to stop. And y'all need to shut up. Plain and simple. Okay, so I just handled about 99% of y'all watching this video. For the other 1%, eat a dick. Simply put, you could just eat a dick. Okay? Because people have this retarded logic that, oh, because the character sucked in a previous game, like, oh, we don't want him because he sucked in this game, that means he's going to suck in this game. Like, you know, what? And then there's, of course, the whole argument, we already have a Marth clone, we only need 2 Marth clones. It's called a redesign, people. That's totally a thing that could be done. I mean, I just don't understand why people don't think of these, you know, such simple solutions and concepts. Of course, he wouldn't be a carbon copy from his Melee self. You know, that roster in Melee, you know, half those characters weren't even freaking done. They obviously didn't have enough time to get balanced. Melee had like a 13-14 month development cycle. Yeah. So that's why a lot of the characters had like really bad hitboxes and their knockbacks weren't right and stuff like that. But he'd get redesigned, people. And I know a lot of you guys hate Project M because some inanimate object makes you guys angry for some reason or whatever. Some of you are against mods for some reason or what. I don't know what it is. But, you know, just pop in Project M, play Project M Roy, and you'll see exactly what I mean by a redesign is such a simple solution, because Roy is very different from Marth and Project M while looking similar. And I hate when, you know, guys get on the whole thing about clones, because they're really just looking at, you know, the aesthetics, right? The visuals. Oh, that moveset looks visually the same, so they say it's the same, but, you know, the hitboxes will work different. The active frames would be different. You know, the angle at which the moves hit would be different, you know, and stuff like that. They don't look into all the intricacies and stuff like that. But I've talked enough about Roy. All he needs, people, is a redesign and whatnot. So that it is what it is. There's no argument why he'd be, for him not being in the game. And I really didn't talk much about Ryo. I've already spent most of this video talking about Roy. But you guys know I'm a Roy fan. I played Roy, and I played Roy in Melee. Like, I actually made him in Melee despite how bad he was. I used to be like a huge, like, low-tier hero guy back in the day. And I also used him in Project M along with Zero Suit Samus. But going back to Ryo, like I said, I really don't think he'll fit in. And I've seen pretty much a split in the community when it comes to Ryo. 50% of people I've seen are like, that would be freaking awesome. The other 50% are like either saying that he would look weird, which I agree with, or fuck Capcom, which I I agree with as well. I don't think Capcom deserves to have their character in Smash, considering Capcom has not done much for the Wii U or Nintendo lately. And to be fair, that's not all Capcom's fault. You know, Nintendo didn't do the best they could to drive the install base to encourage a lot of these third-party developers to put their games on the Wii U. See what I mean? But Capcom could have definitely done a lot more than they actually did. And, you know, and the fact that Revelations 2 was on 3DS and Revelations 1 actually sold pretty damn well on the 3DS, that was kind of a slap in the face. So I kind of agree, you know, with that camp. You know, fuck Capcom, they don't deserve to have a character in the game. But if Ryu does get in the game, honestly, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to be happy, and I'm not going to be, like, disappointed or against it at the same time. I'm just going to be like, cool, you know, I'm happy for those who are happy for his inclusion. But getting on to the ballot, because I talked enough about those two. Of course, I've seen some really good requests, and I've seen some really bad requests. And I remember when I was watching the Direct, I was like, oh, this is awesome, you know. Nintendo Sakurai actually taking feedback, you know, from the gamers, and they're going to add in, you know, the most popular votes, you know, and stuff like that. But then I was like, wait a minute. Most people are retards, right? So I got kind of worried, but I will say for the most part, as far as like the top requested characters go, A lot of them, even if I don't agree with, I can at least see why people are, requesting these characters. But like, I got the Reddit polls right here, and there's, Banjo Kazooie at number one. Isaac from Golden Sun, yes, smart people, smart people. King K. Rool, Shovel Knight, Solid Snake, Bayonetta, Paper Mario Wolf, Inkling from Splatoon. I don't agree with that. And then Ice Climbers 10. Of course, I agree with Wolf and Ice Climbers because they used to be in Smash before, and Ice Climbers would have actually been in Smash Wii U if it weren't for the 3DS version, because the 3DS cannot handle 4 Ice Climbers, which is 8 people on screen at the same time. 3DS can handle that, so he cut it for the game altogether. But here's one thing I don't think people are really keeping in mind with this ballot. People are pretty much just voting for who they want, which is fine. And of course, yeah, that's the whole point of this thing. But at the same time, I feel that people are completely like neglecting the fact that this is still just going to come down to priority and eligibility. You see what I'm saying? It pretty much is going to boil down to what characters are more deserving than others. I see a lot of, gamers along with these the respective indie developers, talking about they want Shantae and Shovel Knight, stuff like that. Now Shantae and Shovel Knight, they're cool characters, and they could definitely be ported straight over to Smash Bros. Like, their movesets would be so easy to do, right? They're perfect fits. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that. They're perfect characters for the Smash Bros. Series. But are they the most deserving? You see what I mean? Yeah, technically Shantae's been on Nintendo for a long time, but remember, guys, we're probably just going to have 4 to 5, if even that. Maybe like 3 max, like actual slots, DLC slots, after Lucas. We don't have an unlimited amount of characters Sakurai's just going to infinitely keep making, for this game, you know what I'm saying? So you got to think about not only what we would perceive as most deserving, but also what Sakurai would perceive as the most deserving. You see what I'm saying? Sakurai, I don't think Sakurai would look at Shovel Knight and Shantae and be like, yeah, I'll pick them over King K. Rool or Roy or Isaac or Wolf. You see what I'm saying? That wouldn't make sense. He wouldn't prioritize a third-party character over one of Nintendo's own in-house characters. You see what I mean? So you guys just gotta keep that in mind. I'm not saying you can't vote for these characters. I'm just saying that when you're thinking about characters that you want to vote for, also think about their viability. You see what I mean? That's pretty much all I'm saying. What do I think about Banjo-Kazooie? Honestly, and I know I might get some flack for this, but I think people just need to let Banjo go. I'm sorry. I know I might have just, blasphemed to a lot of you guys or whatever, but that's one of those instances where I'm just like, people need to let go of the past. Rare is dead. Banjo was great, but like, y'all, let's just leave him be. Leave him in his grave. Just leave him in his grave, leave him be. And yes, he was a big Nintendo icon back in the day, but that was literally like way back in 1995, like when the N64 came out or whatever. I think that's the year N64 came out, I'm not sure. 1995. I was a little baby then, whatever. I'm only 21. But, the same kind, and I know this, a lot of you guys be like, what, to this too, but the same kind of goes for King K. Rool. It's like, yeah, we do need more villains. Yeah, we need a DK villain at that. But it's like, King K. Rool, when was the last time we've seen this dude? And then that's the kind of stuff. Oh, my PS4 is about to turn off. I was playing Mortal Kombat before I started doing this video. Game is great, by the way. I might be doing a Bloodborne review. Then after that, I might be doing a Mortal Kombat review, by the way. But anyways, yeah, I think a lot of people just aren't thinking of, in terms of viability and the actual realistic chances these characters have over actual Nintendo characters or characters who are much more closely related to Nintendo's, such as Wonder Red from Wonderful 101. That game wasn't made by Nintendo, but, Nintendo does own that IP, and the game is kind of Nintendo-ish, just in general. You know what I mean? So, he would have a much higher chance and a higher priority over Shantae and Shovel Knight and these other, third-party characters and stuff like that. Bayonetta even. Bayonetta, of course, that's a really highly requested one. It would be cool to see, but kind of like Ryu, she would just kind of look out of place and just completely outlandish in that kind of environment. But maybe Sakurai can make it work. I mean, there's been characters in the past, I'm like, there's no way this character is going to work. There's no way this character is going to visually make sense standing beside Mario and Kirby, and Link and them. But then they actually have, oh, okay, that's cool. Like Wii Fit Trainer, for instance. I was like, what? Like, this is so stupid. Then I saw her in the game. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Makes sense. Her moveset and stuff. So I may be wrong, but I don't think Bayonetta could get in there. Snake. I used Snake and Brawl initially, and then I switched to Zero Suit as a main because I just thought Snake was like just silly and OP with his huge hitboxes and his hard hitting normals. Uh, but kind of like how with people are saying with Ryu, like fuck Kojima, right? Like he hasn't done anything for Nintendo. He doesn't deserve to have, Snake and Smash or whatever. And again, not completely Kojima's fault or whatever. They're not gonna do all this work to scale down Metal Gear Solid 5 to put on Wii U and whatnot. But regardless, Snake just really doesn't have anything to do with Nintendo at all outside of Twin Snakes, and he was pretty much put in Brawl for Twin Snakes, and so his Snake just really doesn't have anything to do with Nintendo right now. Not currently, not even in the recent past, nothing. So I don't agree with that. I do want Wolf back in the game. I do want Ice Climbers back in the game just because they're veterans. They deserve to be back, and they shouldn't have been cut in the first place. All veterans, everybody who was in Smash, in the history of Smash, needs to come back, with the exception of Pichu. Pichu can stay away because he was a joke character to begin with. Look it up. Sakurai intentionally put him in the game just to have a character that is like really, really bad, and a character for people to laugh at, pretty much. So he was a joke character. He doesn't need to be in there. But yeah, I want everybody to come back. Who did I vote for personally? You guys already know. Of course, I voted for Roy. I voted for. Actually, I forgot who I voted. I voted for Roy. I voted for Crystal and Star Fox. And I remember I said this. I forgot where I said it, but people are like, Crystal from Star Fox? What? No. We don't need another clone. And I'm like, are you guys serious? She doesn't use like guns and shit like they do. Like she could use her staff from Star Fox Adventures. Her moveset would be perfect, but the main reason why I want her in that game is because she would be the first Star Fox character that is completely original. You see what I mean? She's not going to have the reflector and the similar up Bs and, of course, the same goddamn final smashes, She would actually be the first unique Star Fox character we actually get. And, the stuff Fox could do with the staff in Star Fox Adventures, that game was terrible. At least for a Star Fox game. If it was something else, it probably would have been good. But it was terrible just because it had the Star Fox name on it. But despite the fact that game was like, Crystal can have some really cool moves, from that game, put with her and Smash Bros. Wii U, so that'd be a perfect fit. I voted for Anthony Higgs for Metro Other M. That was kind of more of a joke, vote I did. And I also voted for Gerald from the last story, which was also kind of a, joke character, I think. But the two I voted for that I was serious about was Roy and Crystal. And I would encourage you guys, if you haven't already, to go vote for those two characters as well. Like I said, Roy could get a redesign. People, calm the hell down. Calm the hell down. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Apparently Sakurai is also going to be attending a I forgot what it was called. It's a celebration for Fire Emblem's 25th anniversary, I believe. Yeah, it's a 25th anniversary event, and Sakurai is going to be making an appearance there. So a lot of people are speculating that maybe he's going to be announcing Roy there, or maybe some other Fire Emblem character. You never know. So that's going to be interesting, but I want to get my hopes up too high because a lot of times, us Nintendo fans, we think too deep into things, we overthink, like, oh my god, that means that this is going to happen, conspiracy theory, stuff like that, and then we end up getting disappointed. It's a possibility, it could happen, but don't get your hopes up. But those are my thoughts in Ryu and Roy's inclusions, as well as the Smash Bros. Ballot. I don't think I really gave my in general thoughts on third-party characters. Honestly, I don't want to see a third-party character that isn't something like, One Red or Bayonetta. A character that's third-party but, exclusive to a Nintendo platform. If there's going to be a third-party character, I want that third-party character to come to be someone who is synonymous with Nintendo. You see what I mean? Somebody who is exclusive to Nintendo but still third-party. Stuff like that. They're more deserving that way. But those are my thoughts, y'all. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll see you guys later. Peace.